Well, hello. Welcome to Drawing with Valarie. Well, let's just try that all over again. Well, hello. Welcome to Drawing with Fire with Valarie. I'm your neighborhood pyrography artist. We'll be joined with hubcaps soon. And today we are working on darkening up the face so that we can see the difference in contrast and how important contrast is. So if you've been feeling like your burning's been a little boring, as in how it looks, I can almost guarantee it has to do with not having enough darks. And I've got the base of some of the bear's face in, so that's why we're going to focus on that. And I am currently heating up the Optima 18 extra small spear shader at 2.5, because even though I've burned here already, it will still burn it dark. Alright, hey Sheila, hey Michelle, hey Sonia. Let's get this going. Pull my photo so I can make sure I can see. Because as you can tell from this, we have a really dark bear face. And we need the light on the nose and around the snout in order to pop it out and make it look like it's coming at us. If it didn't have this light right here, we'd lose it in the bear head itself. So we really need this dark here and this light here in order to pop it out. If you're doing realistic burning and that has not been working out for you, there's a really good chance it's because you just don't have enough balance of lights and darks in order for it to work. Now, our bear is the main subject, so all the detail and focus goes into the bear. And I hear the rest of the crew tap dancing their way into the room. So if you're new, here they come. We're being joined with the fur babies and hubcap. Hopefully they will get settled quickly and we will get going. Now there are ads on this live stream. I tried to look up being able to adjust that myself, and of course all the videos and everything was put more ads on your videos to make more money, and it's not about that for me. I know she's excited. That it's not about that for me, and I know ads can be very intrusive, so I tried to cut them out as much as I could. So I'll go ahead and apologize for that now. Ooh, let's get the camera angled so that you guys can see how my pen is touching the wood. There we go. Hopefully that'll get you a good idea. I know the lighting changes on the bear when that happens. If it's too bright, I can pull it back a little bit. That way you're not getting a glare. Let me know if that works for you.
See, what are you eating? No.
And we will get started. Still working on my studio things fall, little things fall, and then of course fur babies find all of that. I'm gonna switch over to the sepia photo so you guys can see the tonal value, because the tonal value right now is more important. More important than, well, that's not gonna work for us. I've got it somewhere. Hold on. Where is it hiding?
It's the first live stream with the new tablet.
Yep. Let's see here. Let me find the right. I've got it.
No, I'm not used to having a keyboard.
There we go. Alright. I'm trying to see if this photo is a little lighter. It looks like it might be a little lighter than what the final is going to be, but it still gives us the tonal values that we need. And again, we can lay down. In the end, you can still see the nose points out because of those lights. Alrighty. I'm going to switch over to the sepia so that we are looking at the same thing. So we're going to focus right here for now. Again, I am on 2.5 with the extra small 18 Spear Shader by Optima. I'm going to go flat. I'm going to touch down in an area. It's already been burned just to pull heat from my pen. And this area darkens anyway. So,
I think Wanda just showed up.
hey Wanda. We'll get that in there. We can see how dark that is right there. Let me know if I need to zoom in more. If you want. Because maybe it needs a little closer zoom. I'm sitting a bit sideways in order to, because I had to drop this piece on its easel. Alright. So getting in these darks. There we go. We've got a lighter area here. It's been a while since I've worked on the face. And I'm flat and I'm dragging in the direction of the fur. You can see, just based on my heat setting, that it's burning pretty hot. And again, that's just how this pin is made. It's one of the reasons I like it, because then I can go with a lower heat setting. I'm angling a little bit to the right so I can cut into this grain right here. And it's going to darken on either side of the grain, so if I go up on the tip, it makes it short. I'm going to give you the, so you can mute the mic when you need to cough.
I'm sorry.
No, it's just so you can do it. Wait.
What? Okay.
It's on the right. You'll see the, you should see the volume bouncing around on the screen. Alright.
Which one is the mic?
Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. There you go. Right
okay.
there. And then you see the little speaker to the left. Just click on that and it'll mute when you need to.
Okay.
Alright. So we're going to drag flat, moving quickly so that it's not doing too many blobs. Luckily with fur, blobs are okay. Okay, you can work them in. So I need to find, we've got a light right here, and then it's basically like a straight line going down of the light. This is coming in from the tree from this angle. You can see it on the face. I probably should, well, not do anything because I just gave you the controls. So I'm going to drag flat in the direction of the day off. This one's public.
Okay.
So it's your call.
If I have another coughing fit, I will leave.
Don't make it sound like that.
No, I mean...
Alright, so we're dragging. Hello. I got a dog nose in my face.
Well, she's saying hello.
She is.
She's saying hello.
So we can see,
Hello.
also because I'm flat, it's going to do softer strokes. And for the fur on the face right here, although we can see the definition of the fur, it is...
Sheila says she doesn't need a zoom.
Okay. It is a little softer looking fur compared to the rest of the body, so going flat helps us achieve that. So that allows us two things at once. The two most important things for realistic wood burning, I would say, is contrast and your strokes. Because your strokes help give you that realism, and the contrast does as well. Without those two things, you may be looking at your burning and you've worked really hard on it, but it just feels a little off, and more than likely that is why. Maybe the fur is not going in the right direction, and there's not enough contrast making your piece look real. So if you work on those two things, I have no doubt you will see a difference in how realistic your burnings look. So here I kind of need to curve up because that's how the fur is going. It's going more at a curved angle. If I was working off camera, I would just turn my board because it's easier to turn your board than it is to stand on your head. At least it is for me. It also helps from tweaking your wrist. So if you're walking away with a lot of wrist pain after burning, besides the fact that you may be burning for long periods of time, I'm going to move this over. There we go. That could be for two reasons. It could be you're burning, or a few reasons. You're burning too long for your hand. So stopping and giving yourself a break. Although if you're in the zone can be quite frustrating. But hurting while you're burning is even more frustrating. And two, you're burning at odd angles.
I unmuted, right?
You did.
Okay.
You did.
Yeah.
And three, there's three reasons. Yeah, just to make sure because I was the long mute. And third reason is you're gripping your pen way too tight. There are other reasons, and of course medical. Talk to your doctor. If you can. But another reason could be the balance of your pen. If you notice, I always hold my pen where the cord is tucked underneath the pen. And my pen sits on top of it. I learned that little trick from Pat's website, Optima website. And it has made a big difference on my pain level as well. Plus, at higher heat settings, if the pen gets warm, which they all do, it also kind of blocks the heat. The cord insulates the heat away from my hand. So moving quickly, trying to darken. I can always go back in and put any kind of detailed fur lines in. But right here, I really am fighting with the grain. So one of the things when setting up your burning, if possible, and it's not always possible.
I'm sorry. That's where I'm coming.
Alright. Hubcap's gonna take a break from the lives today.
It's good hanging out with you. Sorry, guys.
We still got the excuse me, the coughing going on, and he really doesn't want to cough in your ear.
Come on, Morgan.
He misses you guys.
I do.
And had thought he could do it. And as you can hear, he's still dealing with that. Sorry about that. So I need to pull the mouse back over to me so I can have control. I have the power. Yep, Sheila says she learned the chord hand trick a couple of years back. Do you feel like it makes a difference for you? So my pen, this is hot, so I'm trying to be careful. Let's see how much I can back up. When I pull it from the holder, I just grab in this manner, and then it's automatically in the position that I want in holding my pen. Now, some of the burners, such as Burnmaster, the cord is too thick and not as flexible. That also goes for the Chinese burners. You may not be able to do that. You could try using a rubber band to... I mean, that's one of the things that Pat recommended, was using a rubber band and wrapping the cord around your pen. But the more I think about it, I don't know how comfortable that would be. So you'd have to test that for yourself. So anyway, we're going back. We've got this grain to fight with. Now, I don't want to make too big of a fuss about the grain because we are working on wood. So allowing the grain to show through just helps to reiterate, this is a piece of wood we're drawing on. We're drawing with fire on wood, so we want people to see the wood texture. It's part of the charm of wood burning. So, I mean, I've got this grain right here, this one right here, this one. So I've got quite a bit of grain running through this area. When setting up a burning, if you have an area that has a bunch of grain and an area that has less grain, you might want to check to see if it would be better layout for you to get creative on placement and go with the area with less grain. But that goes back to artistic choice. So, totally your call. If you find you're fighting with grain, that may be something you need to look at. Sheila said that, yeah, holding her pen in this manner made a massive difference. And it does, because when you're holding in this manner, the cord isn't hanging down here, putting extra weight on your wrist as well, which is another reason why I only hold my pen like that now. I mean, I've been doing it for a few years, and I definitely have felt the difference in my wrist, along with following my doctor's orders to wear a brace while sleeping, not while awake, because then that allows your wrist to rest in the proper position. I'm trying to get over here. I'm actually going to turn down to 1.5 because I don't have a whole lot of burning here, and I want to build it up a little bit more while also leaving some light areas. So I need to take that into consideration while moving around the board. So drag, and I'm flat, and I'm kind of doing a very shallow U. And I'm not trying to get it to a perfect stroke each time. In fact, I think I can bump up to 2 a little bit there. Because in not having it be a perfect U and overlapping, it allows me to build the contrast up while also getting the fur texture. And going in that direction. But you can see how soft it is, and the filling in here, and it is darker in person than it is on camera for you guys because of how the light is hitting the board. And the fact that I need to be better lit so you guys can see. We've got a dark that goes all the way up. I would angle this board, but I am trying to keep from moving it too much. Now I'm up on my edge to get a finer stroke, and it probably would be better to do this with the 18 small. But I'm on the edge, and I know it's hard to see. Hey, Burrow. Hey, Andrea. I'm trying to cut out, because it was kind of static and too uniform. And even though for the bear ear over on this side, it is a bit more uniform, I don't want it to be overly. So I'm up on the edge, tip edge, because that's the easiest way I can get in there from this angle. Just as I keep putting more strokes in, it's going to darken, but I would keep kind of breaking at this line. I know it's hard to see because this is further away based on how I have the camera angled. Go. This kind of starts curling down. So on the edge, trying to break up that stroke. Okay. So this is really light here. So I need to make a choice of how light I want it. So looking at the reference, our sun is hitting, this is the brightest edge right here. Looks even brighter because we got the tree in the background, and so that makes it brighter looking. And then we have brightness right here that comes down, and then we've got it, we're just gonna go for it. We're just gonna go flat. You can see how dark that just went. I can take the extras or the small, I'm gonna put down to 1 because this is so lightly burned. Let's start darkening. I've gone down to 1 and I'm flat on the tip, but again, because I'm at such an angle, I'm doing an upside down U. And moving quickly when I first touch down so that it's not too dark. I can go back over and darken it, and I will. Just because we're doing this for the live doesn't mean I won't be darkening anymore. I will. I just wanted to discuss contrast. And see, on camera, you guys can really hardly see it right here. But in person, it is darker. So let's go on our edge. I'm on the right edge, just getting, we'll go to the tip. This is an indent in the bear's skull right here. It goes up. Our brightest is right here. It comes down. So what I'm going to do is go flat and kind of shape that light area. And I can roll between going flat and on my edge. And in this case, because I'm curving down, I'm rolling to the right. If I was curving up, I'd roll to the left. Just drag quickly. Once I get all the darks in, this is going to get even lighter, so I'm going to have to darken this up. So we'll get some of this darkened up. Let's see here, going up. These are shorter strokes because it's shorter fur. We gotta keep that in mind. Shorter strokes, shorter fur. Get that in. And remember what we talked about last week. When it's really short fur, or fur that is coming at us, it's really short strokes. So we're going to make sure that happens. These curve down. Some curve to the left. I'll have to bring those back in later, it looks like. And it also looks like I need to, that's a curve, I need to break in and curve this a little bit more. So I'm going to use the tip. And watch just by getting this shape right, how much it changes the shape of the eye and the shadow. Up. And so that just changed it. Instead of being straight down, using the tip. Tip is the hottest part of any pen tip. There we go. I'm definitely going to have to darken the eye. Let's see how much of a difference. So I'm on the edge to get a thin stroke. I don't want to outline. We've got a bit of the shadow here that needs to darken. Get a shadow here. If I don't connect the lines, it won't look like he's wearing eyeliner. Although they do come into contact down at the bottom. I need to vary that based on thickness and tone. Let's see here. And our pupil, we don't overly see the pupil, but because this is such a big piece, we will see it more. It needs to round this eye a bit more. So I'm just on the tip, and I'm at 1, but it's still burning pretty darn hot. I can just shape it, pull it up. And then just real quick, I can, when I find it, what I do with it. Ah, there it is. Let's see here, we got a bit of a highlight here. I'm not going to go crazy with it. This is just so I can see where that highlight goes. And this is the white charcoal. Alrighty. Let's see, does that eyeball stand out to you a little bit more since I added more of those darks? There still is more things that need to occur around the eye. But, like, some more of these darks, and I can see the line right there. So I'm flat, and I'm actually flat and dragging long ways instead of down. I'm more the edges dragging at the same time. My main thing is I want to show you the difference contrast really makes, because I know it can be so hard trying to get those darks in because you're so worried you're going to mess up the piece. Let's see, and all of this is darker. I'm trying to burn on either side of this grain so I don't get it too dark. And sometimes that just doesn't happen. Let's see here. We're going to go flat real quick. Just move. I need to darken this. So I'm flat and not lifting my pen. Because if I lift my pen, it's going to recover more heat. And I need to be able to control with the lighter burn. Alright, and then it goes a little darker underneath. And then this is more of up and down. Some more across because that's how the fur is going. And we can see how much. I probably should have had a before picture ready just to pop up at the eye so that we could see the difference. I'm using the tip cutting into our eyebrows that do have some light hitting it, so we don't want to burn all of it. We do need some shape in there, and we can always go back in and put any of the, like right here we've got some thicker shadows, and I'm not talking about this shadow line. I removed it from the piece, so I'm not doing that. I'm talking about the shadow for the fur in here. We can always go back later and quickly put those in, so I'm not going to stress about it. I need to shape this down a little bit. And the thicker strokes allow us to be able to get in there and do that. So I'm going to kind of do a bit of crisscross. trying to keep it from being uniform. So definitely easier to turn the board right here, because the fur does change direction. Let's get that cut in. Let's see, we said that was the light right here, but there are some other light areas. And see, some of this area, the fur is almost, because it's overlapping in different lengths, it's almost like doing a bit of, what's the word? Scales, a little bit. It'd be a similar stroke that I would use for scales on a fish. Not necessarily detail scales. For fur that's going back on the head, we actually, so I want to show you, we're not seeing a lot of fur details in here. They're actually quite soft. A little blurry. So those kind of angle. So we'll do this. Wedge that up underneath there and angle you guys up. And actually I needed to go the other way. I need to angle this way in order to pull this way. Alright, let's try it again. Take my wedge out. And this is truly the joys of doing such a large burning. Put my wedge in, which my wedge is just a piece of wax. My wax that I use to clean the tip when I'm using that method. And I've got it wedged on the opposite corner. So let's get you guys in here. See, we can already see the difference now that the lighting has changed. So I need to pull back. You can still hear me. I have to move back a little bit on my chair. Alright. Find a place where I can touch down. So I'm on my left edge, and then just pull back a hair so that it's a thicker stroke. I'm going to pull a pin. Alright. Okay, so when I'm talking like that, what I'm trying to do is using one of these legs. This is what I call the legs. This is the tip. This is the, when the pin is facing correctly. This is the right leg, this is the left leg. And so when I turn to the left to get this edge, I'm also, when I say I'm turning back a little bit, is to get a thicker stroke, including a little bit of that left leg. Because if I go fully on my edge, it's a really thin, it's not gonna, it's a really thin stroke, but as I come around and rolling, it thickens each time until I'm either fully on that side of the leg, on that leg fully, or I'm flat. So when I'm talking about going on the edge and then rolling a little bit so that I can make a thicker stroke. Hopefully that helped and not make things worse on confusing things. Trying to keep my... So I'm on my edge and then rolling. It becomes so second nature that I will put my pen already in the position that I want, not necessarily rolling. I'm just saying it for you guys. Let's see here. Because I burned here, I'm going to bump up to 2. What I need to do is grab a scrap piece of wood and show you what I mean by the thickness changing of the stroke. So doing U strokes but crisscrossing in order to give some texture. And then we've got that light that comes around right here, so we don't want to go all the way to the edge. Alright, so I did up my heat. So I'm going to pull some heat. We need to come down a little bit. The biggest thing is playing with your pens to see what strokes they make based on just how you move them. Even if you're not changing the heat settings. I'm looking at my reference photo sideways. So I'm intentionally touching down first and pushing. If you're going to push your pen, do not use a whole lot of pressure so that you don't break it. Although, knock on wood, I don't have that issue with my Optima. I'm just trying to shape this eye. I am holding the board on the other side, even though I've got it propped. I kind of need to change the angle of the fur right there. And let's see here. This curves up a bit. So we're going to curve it. Alright. And then just keep darkening. Keep going over it. Moving our strokes around. And although we may have gone like this way first, now we can curve down. Hey, Apple Mose. It has been a long time. I had surgery to do and hanging out with the members, doing the member lives. I thought I haven't hung out with everybody else in a while. So here we are. Dragging down. So I know I'm crossing over those first strokes I had done before. But that is okay. I'm doing two things. I'm darkening and I'm giving texture. Just kind of breaking it up as much as I can. Because I can always come back, go back in the correct direction, to give some definition. I'm up on my edge. Back on the tip. I need to darken this area here, so we're going to come down. There we go. Let me check. So we've got a light area right here, and where it's at the ear, it curves. So I'm going to take those strokes I've already made. Past life. Past life. Get my curl down. I'm going to go tip. The tip does the softer strokes. So I need to curl down. Right here. These curl up. And I know that can be confusing. These are the end strokes of this fur. So we curl up, and this is another layer of fur. We curl down. We do need to darken in here. So let's cross back and forth. See, as I burn more here, this is going to lighten up. Let's see here. Overall, Optima's doing pretty good. Hubcap is sick. Well, we both kind of have chest colds, but right now mine's a little better controlled. So he's not with us today. Only because he doesn't want to cough in anybody's ear. Alright. So I would keep going back and forth working that. We can really see the grain in here. When I pull back and have the board upright, we'll be able to better see. Right now, based on how it's burned, I have this fur being really light, but right here it isn't. So I'm going to darken it by going flat. Still dragging in the same direction. And if I miss a couple of little areas, that's actually good, because there are some areas of the fur that are a little lighter. So it just lends itself to the realism. Let's pull you guys down. So again, it takes a minute to darken up, because I'm making such quick strokes. But in doing that, I'm having better control. Because if I went slower, it definitely would darken, but it may darken more than I want. So your pen speed is actually more important than your heat setting. You'll get more control with your speed. So I gotta remember the light. And see, I did go over it a little bit here, but when I darken on this side, in fact, we can go ahead and do that. It will actually lighten this area. So I'm going to control how close I get to where I burned, to my lightest area. Flat. And we can see how much lighter, even though I burned right here. I gotta pay attention and not go too high because then I'm off camera again. The Things hubcap helps me with I am trying to figure out what to do for Christmas burning. And as Burl suggested, do it for the month of November, because then, hey, I know that's not what he said, but that's what he was thinking. Yeah, I'm not going to fight these grains. Unfortunately, sometimes the grain is just there, and we have to be okay with it. That's part of the beauty of working with a natural substrate. We can't control it, so why stress about it? What I can control, though, is how much I allow them to stand out. So I do need to pay attention to how many times I go over the area, because the more I go over it, the more it's going to stand out. It's going to darken on either side, like up in here. And I can do small overstrokes right on the grain and then bring it out and kind of push. It's not, and in some areas I am going to have to do that. Like right here I'll do it, but then I'll leave it in other areas. Dragging around, darkening up the area. Do some strokes that kind of, because I'm going straight right there, and I know it's hard to tell because the board is cockeyed. I'm going to pull some fur up, and pull some fur down. My more prominent lines, sorry about that, need to go up. That's where the fur is going. I could up my temperature. But then I need to move quicker to keep from getting a blob. So it is totally your call. I prefer to use the lowest heat setting. And just so you can see the heat setting, let me come over here. So we got a light right here. We got longer for here. I'm going to go flat. So you can see how much on raw wood this at temperature 2 burns. Let's see, where's this? So all of this is light. But it is darker right here. So I'm actually going to bump down to 1. Touch down in an area I've already burned so I can pull the heat. These are actually softer furs right here. So I'm going to drag flat. I'm going to stop at this angle because I need to flip the board again. So I'm going to stop. So I got a bit of a blob right there. So I'm going to go around it, darken around it, hides it. So we have water droplets in here that I actually made an artistic choice to remove because I kind of felt like it took away from what I wanted. So we can remove things anytime we want from a burning. Let's see here. Yeah, Dirty Santa, 5th edition. I was thinking about that today, Burl. I need to write this story. Like, because I want to tell it in the poem. I can't think of the name of the poem right now. So much going on with the brain that I... Night Before Christmas. I wanted that kind of cadence. So I need to actually sit and write it out. Let's see here. Lip, lip, lip. The shadow. Stop there. I'm just trying to see where the shadow is. You know, it's a good thing I'm far enough away from the mic because you probably, for whatever reason, my neck is really a poppin' today. You probably hear it. Kind of weird. Alright, so drag down. Where I slow down, it's going to burn darker. Look how soft that fur is right there. I'm actually really happy with how soft that's coming up. There's some more darks in here because we're going to need them. And this fur actually, I've got a line. This fur kind of pushes back underneath this here. Right about there. So all that needs to be pushed back. And that will change the shape of the head as well. So I'm actually going to bump up to 2. So I can move quicker. Watch what happens when I darken this up. I need to go up into the next layer of fur in some areas just to blend them together. Let's see here, that fur comes down. Curve this around a little bit. Make sure I'm on camera. Bye, Michelle. Thank you so much, Michelle. I hope you have a fabulous day at work. Time change will be coming up soon for everybody else but us. So I had gone, back when we put this in, I had gone pretty light. Intentionally, so that I could get, so I could have range. See, bring in these strokes. And when I slow down, it's gonna burn darker. But thus far, I haven't gone over it all today. I think 2.5 is the highest I've gone on my heat setting. But yeah, I've still been darkening. Blend that in. This is going to change the shape of the bear head. At least where the neck is. Let's see here, that's curved up. Let's see how big of a difference it makes. Yeah, sounds like Rice Krispies in my necks they're having a party. Where the mouth is. Right about here. I'm just trying to find where the dark is on the face. It's right about here. This curves down. I'm looking for those landmarks. We got a bit of curling coming in here. Drag it down. And I shall back this out in a minute so we can see if we see a difference from where we started at the beginning of the lives. And again, I could up my heat to darken these areas if I want. Then I have to pay attention even more so to pen control. We need the darks. We really, 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 really need them. I know they can be hard. I know they can feel overwhelming. But I also know that they make such a difference. And it can take a while to feel comfortable in doing it. And even after burning for a while, it still may get hard. Especially when you've really been working on a piece. And you get stuck in your head that you're going to mess it up. There is an easy way to get around that. Like, super easy way. Take a photo of your piece and start bumping the contrast on your phone or on your tablet. In doing that, you're not burning, so you don't have to worry about screwing it up, which you wouldn't, but if that's how you're feeling. You can also sit there and adjust over and over again till you like it, and then actually help use that your photo of your piece as a reference photo for the tonal values of where you want to get to. So it really helps just by taking a nice quick photo, and then while you're sitting around doing, other things, if your hands are free, sit there and actually adjust your contrast in your photo and play around with it until you get it where you like it, and then you'll see those darks made all the difference. You never had to burn them. I mean, you'll go back and burn it later, but you didn't have to burn it on the piece and worry about messing up. You can kind of have your game plan ready. So let me see. Let me get this last part. So this all still needs to go darker. But we really have some good shape to the fur going on. And because I've been flat pretty much the whole time in this area, I've got nice, fluffy grouping of fur. With this added texture, or getting this texture in, it helps balance out the more coarse contrast. See, right there, I touched down at an angle that burned darker, but you know what? It's okay. I'm going to use it to make myself burn darker, because it does need to be darker in here. So it's not an oops, it's a help. Let's see here, what's another word? What would be a good word for the opposite of oops, but applies to us as wood burners, as pyrographers? Not, let's see here. I've really got this curve going on here that I've made. I'm going to kind of cut over it a little bit. Kind of break it up. And keep working that. Alrighty, let's back this off. Alright, let's see. That bear head has gotten darker. I'm going to have to brighten up the screen a little bit. But we do see more than when we first started. And I'm going to click on the focus. Alright. That is darker than when we started. Artistic license. Yeah, but I'm talking about for our oops. I'm going to back the camera out real quick because I'm going to quickly show you. Let's see here. Let's do this. Do this. We're just going to quickly not do that. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Alright. So I need to figure out. I use Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop on the tablet. Let's see here. Let's go. I'm going to see how much we can adjust. So shadows. We can watch what's going on in different places. And we can go through. And this is just my phone app. Just kind of mess around with it. Let's see, I'm going to save a copy because I'm going to pull it up. In alright, so this is the original photo. This is the Photoshop. I go to Dehaze first to pull off. Any of the extra light. Pull some highlight out because it's too bright. And bump up the temperature just to have it closer to what we're doing, to what we're looking at. But I would sit and mess with it. And with Photoshop, you can hold the picture or do this to see the changes. So that's the photo you guys saw me take. Let me see here. I'm trying to... Maybe I need to make my screen less bright for you guys. Alright, let's see if that helps. Maybe I need to cut some lights. Hey, Joe Bell! And this is just so we can see what we need to do. It looks better in person than it does. Maybe that'll help. So that's the photo you guys saw me take. Let's see. Photo I took. Just me adjusting it. I know it can be hard to tell. But I can sit there and mess with my settings and see what I like. And make the changes to the actual burning later. But I could use this photo of going, okay, I like it where it's darker here, so this I'm going to burn it that way. Okay, I like it lighter here, like in my photos, so I'm going to leave it alone. You know what I mean? That way you're not having to actually burn until you're comfortable. So in this case, your camera is your friend. So that I always try to do that in order to see how much further I need to go. It will get to a point where you keep burning, you keep burning, you keep burning, and it no longer looks any different, when that happens, you're just pretty much done with burning. You're not making any more changes, and that's because it's as far as it's going to go. But until you get to that point, making things darker will help. Let me see. Can I pull very quickly without... I don't think I can. It's going to be a big photo. I've popped enough up on the screen. Let me see here. I'm looking to see if I can give you guys a very quick before and after of the burning itself. Mind you, I try very hard not to overly adjust my photos to keep them as close as I can. Let's see here. Let me see how quick I can do this. What I'm doing is trying to pull an unedited before photo. Save faster. Let's see here. Can't read the number. We'll do that. All right. So this is the photo I took for the live. And that is the wrong photo. And here I did it so quickly. I believe it's going to be... Oh, it's this one. There we go. See, too big. What we're looking at is how much darker I need to relight this. Let's see here. Let's see if that helps. I did. Alright, well, we can see how much we put in. And definitely need to shift that. We can see the difference in the eye. We got more fur in, but we also got darker fur. I do need to cut this line and pull it out more. But see how much things change. Granted, yes, there's more burning. More burning than what we were seeing. Oh, let me get back over to the screen here. Hey, Joe Bell. If I didn't say hey. Hey, Joe Bell. Yes. Yes, Sonia. More darks, more darks, more darks. I'm still healing from surgery, but doing much better than I was before. Much, much better. Thank you. Alright, let's see here. I need to... Again, I know there's more burning from this photo. But this is before the live, before we got started. This is where we're at now. Still needs a lot more darks. I don't know if I can pop up a reference. Well, I can, but having to... It just might be a pain in the butt. I'll let it be because I've already popped up a bunch of stuff and moved things around. I just wanted you guys to see how much just adding some more darks, that line right there is really got to be broken up and curved around. It just needs to be, it's like an end and start area that just with some more strokes will be gone. So I'm not going to worry about that, but we can see like right here how much, just a little bit of darkening. I need to curve this around. But the eye really starts popping out more. Thank you, Andrea. For next week, I'm not sure if next week's going to be a public or a private, or members only, sorry. Because we've got like a ton of this burning in the members class live streams versus what's on public. Plus no ads, so if you want to become a member, if you look by where it says Valarie Connell Drawing with Fire, you'll down by the like button, down there by the like button and the subscribe button, if you're new that you want to click, you'll see join, or in the description of the video, you'll see a Ko-fi link. That's going through the Ko-fi website to become a member. That still gives you access to Facebook. It's just another way if you don't want to pay Google. You can go through... Oh, I said Google in the new tablet. Popped it up. Well, now I know. Like the A word, I can't say the G word. Okay. I got a new tablet. Didn't expect that to happen. So that just tells me it's always listening. Good thing to remember. And to become a member gives you access to the Facebook group, secret group, all of the member live streams, patterns. If you're interested in burning the bear, I have 2 different size patterns. Actually 3. You can do the full size that I'm doing, which is like a 31 by 13. There's also a 9 by 12 and an 8 by 10 pattern, along with a bunch of other patterns to burn along with, and a bunch of other stuff. And no ads. Member lives have 0 ads. 0, 0, 0. And I tried real hard to cut out as many ads on the live stream today as I could. I hope everybody understands in regards to that. Alright, do we got any final questions? Next week, I'll decide if we're going to go public or private. I've been working on this studio, so I didn't get time to burn. Hopefully I'll get time to burn this week as I get more of the studio put together. And we'll go from there. Alright, say it with me. You know what to say. You're awesome. You can do this. Why? Because you're a pyro artist. Happy birthday, guys. You can do this. Why? Because you're a pyro artist. Happy burning, guys. Bye. Have a great day.